It started with a sound, just a faint scratching at night. At first, Mark thought it was mice. The house was old after all, and it had been vacant for years before he moved in. But soon the noises changed. The scratching turned into tapping, then whispers. At night, lying in bed, he could hear them through the walls. Soft, hurried voices, too faint to understand but unmistakably human. Sometimes they giggled, sometimes they sobbed. Mark tried to ignore it. He convinced himself it was the house settling, the wind, his imagination. But then he noticed the writing. One evening, after a long day at work, he found something new on the walls of his hallway. Words scrawled in what looked like charcoal or ash. "Let me out." He scrubbed the wall clean, shaking his head. "Some prank," he muttered. That night the tapping was louder, more insistent. The whispers were closer. The next morning more writing. This time near his bedroom door. "I see you." Mark felt sick. He locked his bedroom door that night, but it didn't help. The knocking came at exactly 3:12 a.m., a slow, deliberate rapping against the wood. He held his breath, heart hammering. Then a voice, a rasping, hollow whisper from the other side of the door. "Let me in." Mark leapt from his bed, grabbed his phone, and turned on the flashlight. The knocking stopped. The room was silent. But when he shined the light on the door, he saw it, a long, blackened handprint smeared across the wood. Mark didn't sleep after that. He stayed up listening. The whispers grew louder. More voices joined in. Some laughed in dry, rasping bursts. Others wept. And then one night, as he lay wide-eyed in bed, something new happened. The mattress shifted. He felt the weight of something unseen pressing down at his feet. Slowly it crawled up his legs. He couldn't move. He couldn't breathe. His body was paralyzed, his mouth frozen in a silent scream. A pressure settled on his chest. Cold breath brushed against his ear. "You're in my house now." The next morning Mark was gone. The house sat silent for weeks before the next tenant arrived. And that night at 3:12 a.m., the knocking began again.